Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! Nights on this island, as you hear the seagulls through my window, are relatively quiet and very peaceful. And that has allowed me to put my thoughts together for forever. I love living here. This island is very quiet, very peaceful most nights. And it allows me as a YouTuber to create beautiful videos about Descendants and Zombies, which I know you love. You haven't got to tell me, that's why you're here. That's why you found this video, you clicked on my thumbnail, and many of you subscribed. A year and a half ago, I didn't have this niche for support. But I'm very grateful that I found this niche. On my walk through the forest every single night, I prayed that I would fall in love with a niche. And that niche would make me the voice of Descendants and Zombies. It is a gift from you guys that I will never ever forget and I will always cherish. Each and every one of you have had a profound impact on my life for your stories about being a Descendants and Zombies fan, through how I've been able to relate to you with my stories about Descendants and Zombies. This has been an experience and a time in my life that was very life-changing, and one that I will never ever forget. And it didn't happen because I created a bunch of Descendants and Zombies videos after having moved home to this island after being away for over 15 years. This happened because you guys love Descendants and Zombies, and you saw that hero in me that you've been looking for to create Descendants and Zombies videos for you every night of his life, and hopefully for the rest of my life. I don't know how long I've got left as a YouTuber and a blogger, but I hope it's long enough to spread a message of kindness, and I hope it's long enough to secure the futures of your favorite Descendants and Zombies stars whom I love dearly. That is no exaggeration on my part, and that is no lie. I fell in love with people like Meg Donnelly and Kylie Cantrell because of how powerful they are, how beautiful they are, how they stand out without even having to try. And they offer us inspirational thoughts and opinions to point us in the right direction, and they have been the victims of criticism ever since. Kylie Cantrell just got out of a very ridiculous relationship just last year in 2024. Seeing all the videos she was posting on TikTok at the time broke my heart. And there were many nights that I would lie awake wondering if Kylie Cantrell was okay. That's all I ever wanted to know, is if she was okay. And I know fans will tell me she is okay, but is Kylie Cantrell really okay? Is she really feeling uplifted? Is she feeling empowered? Is she feeling like she's in a position to really take over as the character Red in Descendants? She has done that undeniably through the power of her message of how every dream can come true. That's how she opened up the Worlds Collide Tour. There was no better way or no more powerful way to open up the Worlds Collide Tour than how Kylie Cantrell did it. And she did it with such power and emphasis. And I give her a profound amount of credit for being there for each and every one of you and really showing up. Every single time Kylie Cantrell has had the opportunity to show up for PR, she's done it. Or just show up in general, she's done it. And she's accomplished every goal and every dream she's ever set out to achieve and aspire to be in her life, and aspire all of you to eventually accomplish. Because I can assure you, if I can offer you a moment of reassurance, as sure as the moon is shining in through my window tonight, every dream that you have or a person has who may be watching this video for the very first time can and will happen for you. And I hope that you never let anybody take that away from you, because there are people out there that will tear you down from the ground up and try to convince you that your dream is never possible or never attainable or never achievable. And I've never ever wanted to take that away from anybody. The chances of us seeing Descendants 5, Wonderland, and Zombies 5, whatever the release window is suggesting, sometime between now and 2027, it could come earlier, depending on how many Zombies videos I create for each and every one of you, we will get to the point where we will see Zombies 5, because we're embarking on a new chapter for Zombies with Malachi Burton and Freya Sky's characters Victor and Nova, whom I love dearly. But I remember the first time I saw Meg Donnelly and how special she was. She was a very different girl. She had a very different perspective on life, and she shared that opinion about her life with each and every one of you. And her honesty, talking to you with an open heart and an open mind, really captivated me and was the true inspiration behind this YouTube channel. The first time I saw her was in February of 2018, and months before that I saw her doing PR for Disney, because she's worked with Disney ever since the age of 15. Many people like Meg Donnelly have come and gone through the doors of Disney and gone on to be some of the greatest of all time. But if there ever was a person who was deserving of that accolade, I think it's Meg Donnelly and Kylie Cantrell. First up would be Kylie Cantrell for how powerful of a representation she was to the character Red, and has yet to beat Liamani Segura as the character Pink, making her debut in Descendants 5, Wonderland, who I'm really excited to meet and get to know, because I think one of the most honorable things about being a fan of Descendants and Zombies and hosting this show is getting to know the characters for who they really are, being so fearless, being so outspoken, not caring what anybody thinks of them, at least on camera. I wish that same logic applied off of camera, and they wouldn't care what anybody had to say about them in written reviews, in columns that they read all the time online, or for YouTube videos such as this. So I kind of wanted to alleviate the pressure off of their shoulders and just have them find something they could really relate to and trust in a guy to create great Descendants videos for not only them, but the fans who have supported them for the last decade. This has really been an incredible decade, an inspiring decade that has really been enthralling to me, to inspire so many people who aren't even fans of Descendants and Zombies to become fans of Descendants and Zombies and surrender to the product. Because this product will heal you. Their message of kindness, their message of how second chances really do exist, how one can find their true love, this franchise will heal you. I promise you that. We just have to have somebody so powerful enough to convey a very powerful message and relay it to you about Descendants and Zombies, which so many people have drastically failed at doing. And I wanted to create this YouTube channel because I felt as if the words "I love you" were never heard enough. I felt that there was never enough kindness spread in this world. And through your guys' help, after falling in love with this niche and having become the voice of Descendants and Zombies, we have done that. More people now feel stronger. More people feel inspired. More people feel outspoken, which is beautiful because Descendants and Zombies had very powerful messages that were conveyed through the power of music, because oftentimes when the emotions are really too high through the power of a script to convey, they turn to music, and the very powerful melodies put behind that music, because when you add lyrics to music, it really brings a script to life. It really brings the essence of unpredictability to life. And we saw that with Zombies more so than ever before in Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires, when two people saw themselves in their dreams and eventually met in Seabrook. It was beautiful how this movie was shot in Toronto and then shot in New Zealand when they switched up the locations, because the scenes in New Zealand were ultimately far greater produced, and everybody who was a part of the production of Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires from New Zealand was just so happy to be there. And that's what I got from it. Everybody was just so happy, and they really showed up. Because when you're showing up to shoot something like Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires, or even Descendants in British Columbia, which they shot Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland in, beautiful location in its own right. The water over there is incredibly warm this time of year, and I'm sure the Descendants cast realized that, because it was an incredible opportunity to shoot all the movies in British Columbia. I believe they shot the original trilogy over there too. I was kind of hoping they were going to choose this island because it really reminds me of Oregon, the beautiful night sky, the beautiful stars, and how it really allows you to put your life into perspective. Because oftentimes, when I was somewhere in the world that I didn't want to be, I wanted to be right here on this island because I grew up here. And there were so many kind people on this island. Some of the most beautiful people do exist in this province. Now, you do have a mixture of people. You have really kind people, and you have people blocking your way to success. The path of success is always blocked no matter where you are in the world. You can never escape it. All you've got to do is believe in yourself and believe in your dreams. I mean, you take Red, for instance, such a powerful character who wanted to be something ultimately far greater than what her mother ever wanted her to be. And she was able to do that. I don't think anybody else would have been able to bring the Red character to life, such as Kylie Cantrell, because she was going through a lot in her own life. That very abusive relationship just last year, her family's troubles and tribulations, but she was able to portray this character in such a way that Descendants exploded in popularity. And I think that the rise of Red is far more popular than the original Descendants trilogy ever was. Sure, Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson portrayed powerful characters with no backstories whatsoever, especially Sophia Carson coming from nothing and turning the evil queen's daughter Evie into such a powerful, iconic character, which a lot of people, even of this new era of Descendants fans, idolized because they were reintroduced to the original franchise, which was really cool, don't get me wrong. But I think this very powerful representation of what a girl actually needs to be in this lifetime is unbelievable. And girls out there such as this do exist, because girls are far more stronger now. They are signing up for gyms, they are signing up for the cheerleading squad, they are signing up for figure skating, what have you, and I really do give them a profound amount of credit. And this all goes back to the beautiful messages of Descendants and Zombies. Characters portrayed by Ruby, characters portrayed by Malia, characters portrayed by Kylie, who did a fabulous job when the torch was passed to them, because a lot of people probably would have quit under pressure. I know Dove Cameron would have quit under pressure many times. Dove Cameron contemplated quitting. For the life of me, I don't know why she didn't. Because people like Kylie Cantrell were just having opportunities snatched from underneath them. I mean, shows like Gabby Dern and the Unsittables, Raven's Home, High School Musical, the series, weren't really getting the job done, weren't really the call that Kylie Cantrell was waiting for. And then here comes this opportunity and this new spin on the Descendants franchise. And look what Kylie Cantrell did. Look what she made happen. Now, she couldn't have done it on her own because she had people like Malia Baker, who she bonded with very quickly, almost instantly. Getting the call to be in Kylie Cantrell's music video, See You Tonight, was an incredible honor for Malia. Now, I've watched Malia all of my life too. Beautiful Canadian actress, still has a long way to go, but her resume speaks for itself. One of my highlights of her resume has to be the Are You Afraid of the Dark reboot, Curse of the Shadows. Seeing characters like Mr. Sardo from Are You Afraid of the Dark 25 years ago of Are You Afraid of the Dark fame was such an honor for me. And I saw Malia Baker, a member of the Midnight Society and the Curse of the Shadows, trying to overcome mystery in a way that mystery had never had to be overcome before. And mystery will have to be overcome in Zombies 5 by the time we get to it and find out what was inside of that vortex, when every supernatural creature or entity residing in Seabrook will have to overcome a siren or the power of mermaids. It's going to be really interesting seeing mermaids, if in fact they do settle in Seabrook, because this island has a lot of legendary tales tied significantly into mermaids, and I think they are beautiful, very powerful on times characters who are really underappreciated. And I think the value of mermaids being added to this really makes it for an interesting script, and I'm excited what the release window is suggesting for a 2027 release. 2 years seems like a long time and very far away, but the thing about time is time always runs out. So because time always runs out, we will get to the point where 2027 will be upon us. And in 2027, I think a lot of miraculous things will happen for the Zombies franchise and even Descendants, because projects for Descendants are in the works that we don't even know about. Perhaps a second Worlds Collide tour could be in the works, a sequel to what this summer will always be remembered for, about how every dream that you have can be put into action and can become a reality. The beautiful songs that Freya Sky and Malachi Burton brought to life from the original Zombies, such as Someday. But, you know, the more I think about it, those songs were specifically written for Zed and Addison, and they did make a video appearance on many of the tour dates at the 43, and they did make an appearance at one of the tour dates. I forget where it was, but they were very rare. But I think these songs were specifically written for Addison and Zed's characters, and Malachi Burton and Freya Sky did a fabulous job. But there was just something about not hearing their voices on the songs that were specifically written for them to do a duet, like Gotta Figure Out Where I Belong by Zombies 2, which was the first time they really broke up, and we thought shit was really going to hit the fan for Zed and Addison. I think that these duets written for specific people being rewritten are done fabulously, but I think these duets need to stay with the characters they were originally written for and inspired by. I've often put it out there that I wanted to be Kylie Control's love interest in Descendants, or Meg Donnelly's love interest in the Zombies franchise, because I just love them so much. I think they inspire so many people from all walks of life. And if you tell me that you didn't draw inspiration from Kylie Control, well, I don't know if I really believe you, because everybody in some way or somehow or some capacity, some way or another, some way somehow, has drawn inspiration from Kylie Control. I mean, I remember watching Kylie Control on her YouTube show. It was called Hello Kylie, reviewing shows like Victorious, Sam and Cat, iCarly. I say this because I would sit in my room at night, every night, mind you, when I ever had the opportunity to watch the latest episode of Hello Kylie. Her passion for Hello Kitty, her passion for Victorious, Ariana Grande, her passion for Sam and Cat, Jeanette McCurdy, lit up the screen on YouTube. And she went on to become one of the most successful celebrities of all time, a GOAT in her own right. And a GOAT is something I've always wanted to go down in history for having been the greatest of all time. I've doubted myself going down in history for being one of the greatest of all time and the greatest of all time. But I know now, because of each and every one of you, that will undoubtedly happen. When, I'm not sure. I don't know how long I've got left as a podcaster, but there's no greater way to go out than a massive explosion of love and support that I've gotten from the Descendants and Zombies fans. Thank you guys so much for believing in me when nobody else did. I mean, all I ever wanted to do as a podcast host was to have my voice heard. And you guys brought me back from seemingly out of obscurity. And obscurity is a really scary place. There are a lot of dark moments in obscurity. You don't know what direction you're headed in. You don't know what to expect, what could be creeping up from behind you in the dark. But it's never the dark that you're afraid of. You're just afraid of what you can't see. And right now, with all the mystery surrounding Zombies 5 release date and Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland, we're just afraid of what we can't see. And we're wondering, we're in doubt if it's ever going to happen. And I'm going to tell you why we're in doubt of why it's never going to happen. Because of all these AI videos, of all these hosts of other shows that are doubting Descendants' progress, doubting the future of a franchise you love so much. Why should anybody have their hopes and dreams about Descendants and Zombies taken away from them, snatched from underneath them? So I've kind of wanted to replace this negative vibe people are giving Descendants and Zombies with a very positive vibe, a vibe of encouragement, where anybody could believe that anything with these franchises that has yet to happen could happen, like Red and Chloe hitting it off, even having a baby, finding true love. Because if you follow the Descendants books, Red does find a true love in Ace, and they stay together for forever by the Isle of the Lost book. There are a total of 9 of these books. 4 of them have made it to the top of the New York Times bestseller list, and that's an accolade in its own right. And I've often wondered why the Descendants franchise and their stars won't go down in history for being Disney legends. If Miley Cyrus can do it after an incredible 20-year career, ever since the age of 11, then the stars of Descendants can do it. And for sure, Cameron Boyce will go down in history for being one of the greatest of all time. God rest his soul. There's just something about him not being a part of the Descendants franchise that I really miss. And I think a lot of the original Descendants stars do miss it, and that's why they believed and drew the conclusion to believe that they had told the story and completed it. But no matter how much of a story that you believe you've told, there's still so much more of a story to be told and to be discovered by Descendants fans. And I think Descendants fans of the past and the present of this new generation could kind of come together for a production that could be so beautiful. That's why I've wanted to be the producer of Descendants and Zombies for Forever, which you girls can make happen by hitting the subscribe button, because I have a lot of creative energy that flows, and I think I could really be the Tim Burton of this. Let Tim Burton stay on Netflix producing the latest season of Wednesday, and let Jonathan Clarke come in as the new producer, out with Kimmy Gatewood and in with Jonathan Clarke, because you would see so much CGI. You would see so much of a beautiful script, so much beautiful music, because I love action-adventure musicals, which Descendants was originally sketched to be. And I think that ever since Kenny Ortega came on board, that sort of flow has been tried to be maintained by people like Jennifer Fang and Kimmy Gatewood. But I really think that Jonathan Clarke has a lot to offer to this franchise, because if Jonathan Clarke comes in, he will never want to see this end, because I really don't ever want to see a point of finality reached with Descendants, because of so many fairy tale lands, fairy tale characters, Descendants, if you would, to see their introduction into these franchises, both for Descendants and Zombies. Where is Freya Sky's spirit animal Stitch and her opportunity to work with whom she idolizes and loves so much? Because Stitch never cared what anybody thought of him. Where is this CGI'd rabbit with a voice that Descendants could have that fans want to see Red have a pet like? I mean, Jonathan Clarke could be his voice. Jonathan Clarke would be very protective of Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker and kick a whole lot of ass as the voice of a CGI'd rabbit. Again, going back to how much potential exists with the Descendants franchise and how much of a story we have yet to see, which I am very excited about. I will forever and always be supportive of Descendants and Zombies fans. I will forever be supportive of Descendants and Zombies stars, because they've really made this happen. And they've really given us incentive to believe in a dream, no matter how impossible that dream may seem to be. Because believe you me, there is more to life than playing every PlayStation 5 video game in existence, which you see in my collection there in the back. Before all of you guys, I was a radio show host and a blogger on YouTube, and I was anything but the best. But now I know I will go down in the second half of my career, after I thought I had recorded my final podcast over 7.5 years ago, as one of the greatest to ever do it. There's a girl on this YouTube channel who refers to me as the greatest of all time, and I want her to know that I will forever and always appreciate her comments and her incentive and her encouragement to create these beautiful videos for each and every one of you. And I also want to know the very first girl who showed up at my door dressed up as her favorite Descendants character, wherever she is out there in the world tonight. I want her to know that I am forever appreciative of her love and support. Every single Halloween, she would show up at my door and wrap her arms around my legs, saying everything was going to be okay. Now can you please create a Descendants and Zombies show for you on YouTube? My love, you've gotten your wish, and this YouTube channel will forever and always be here for each and every one of you. I have no idea where she is out there in the world tonight. Perhaps she watches the show. I really don't know. And I've never actually had a girlfriend actually watch any of my videos talking about Descendants and Zombies. You know, I just recently got out of a relationship with a girl who I love dearly. For obvious reasons, we can't be together. I have no idea where she is out there in the world tonight. But she's the reason for these reciprocal lights, because her reciprocal lights were beautiful. Her passion for painting, singing, wanted to be an aspiring artist was really inspiration for me. I drew inspiration from that to become a full-time YouTube creator for each and every one of you, just as I drew inspiration from Ruby Rose Turner, who I believe is incredibly kind and really genuine. And those are qualities that every girl out there possesses. It's just guys really don't ever appreciate them for who they are and their value. And I think if more guys out there appreciated the girl for what her worth truly was, and really realized that there's a passion with painting, there's a passion with writing music, there's a passion to putting melodies to a lyric, it is truly unbelievable how much passion a girl has within her heart, and I think more guys need to realize that and really put that on display, because the more people who realize that, the more supportive you can be in a relationship and really understand a girl for what she's worth. And that's why Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker went through these very brutal breakups years ago and really bonded, because they really bonded over mutual circumstances, let me say that, because they were treated ways they didn't deserve to be treated. And I am really excited to see what the future has in store for them, because their futures are definitely brighter now. They've removed themselves from these situations. And I just want to put it out there that if in fact you are in the same kind of situation that may be similar to Malia and Kylie, remove yourself from the situation, because you definitely are someone who is very special. You're very special to me. I want you to know that, because without you, I would not be here. My show would not exist if not for each and every one of you. The power of Descendants and Zombies is very profound. And it's really a beautiful method of really putting your life back together. It's really inspired us that dreams do come true. One can find their true love. And there is such a thing as a happy ending, even if it only exists in Oridon or by attending Oridon Prep. Because in all honesty, I feel as if I've attended Oridon Prep and I've never ever left for all of my life. And if there's one niche that I would die with in the midst of a zombie apocalypse, which apparently is going to happen in 114 days from now, or less than that, actually 112 days from now, with an alien mothership on the way to Earth to kill us all. If in fact that's going to happen, I just want to put it out there to the alien mothership that, oh, Jonathan Clarke is ready to die. I'm good to go. Because these fans are incredibly supportive of this YouTube channel, and forever and always will be. There's no doubt in my mind. Now, I know I do have a lot of critics who do leave comments on some of these videos, but to overshine the critics and overshadow them, if you would, I have over 95% of these people who are subscribed to this YouTube channel who will be my shield and who will support these videos forever and always, like the girl who calls me a goat, who I love dearly for actually showing the amount of support that she does. Again, I don't have any idea where she is out there in the world tonight, but I want her to know that her love and support is something that I just can't do without, as I can't do without the love and support of each and every one of you. No matter if you've seen yourself through the eyes of Kylie Cantrell, Malia Baker, Ruby Rose Turner, thank you so much for being here. For whatever reasons you've clicked on my video and you've watched the video, hopefully in its entirety, and really taken my opinion for what it's worth. Thank you for all the love and support that you've given this YouTube channel, and thank you most of all for having made me the voice of Descendants and Zombies, because as I've said many times on this show, in the final few minutes that I have, this show really revitalized my career. It was a rebirth of Jonathan Clarke. After having produced over 4,000 videos on YouTube, so many radio shows, so many YouTube channels, this YouTube channel really hit home. Really was a punch in the heart for me. It really was a wake-up call, because I did have support out there. I just didn't realize it would come in the form of Descendants and Zombies fans. So as we look at the same moon tonight, I want you to never ever forget that we look at the same moon and the same stars, and that every dream is possible and can and will happen for each and every one of you. I don't care what that dream is, what you're talking about, what you're thinking about accomplishing in your life, because you've still got a long way to go. My nephew was born in 2009, and one of the first things I looked at my sister for advice and told her was that he has a long way to go. He's 15 years old now, and he's still trying to figure out his life, but he's trying to become a tech engineer, and he's well on his way to doing it. He still has a long way to go, as we all do, but I know he'll get there. And I know each and every one of you will find your dream, and you will find your light. I know that's a quote from Cloud, a Final Fantasy VII theme, but because I was a really big Final Fantasy fan, I just used his quote to inspire you and to draw inspiration from, or at least hope that you will find inspiration from that quote of how everybody has a light. It's just a matter of how and how long it will take you to find it. How and will you find it, and how long it will take you to find it. Because trust me, you will find that light. It's out there somewhere for you, and you will find it. I believe in you. That's why I say this. And that's more than you're going to hear from any other YouTube creator out there who creates Descendants and Zombies videos, because that's what it's tried to instill in our minds and within our hearts. In the depths of our hearts is that every dream can happen for you, can and will happen for you, and that we all do believe in you. And no matter what happens on this road, this very unpredictable path, this incredible journey that you girls have got me on, I want you to know that regardless of what happens to me in my career and my life because of my choices, I know that I will always have you, and you guys will always have me to help you make sense of Descendants and Zombies when you really can't. Because there are a lot of people on YouTube who just are really out there when it comes to Descendants and Zombies videos. That's something that I've really noticed over the years, is that they post these videos that really make no sense to anybody. But trust in me, I'm a really big Descendants fan. If I've watched the Descendants movie 90 times, you can say I've watched it 100. If I say I've watched the Descendants trilogy 100 times, you can say I've watched it 150 times. And I've noticed things that other critics about Descendants and Zombies generally wouldn't. But I do love creating these videos for each and every one of you. I really do. There is no place in the world I'd rather be, as I've said many times over the years, than sitting behind this podcast microphone on this incredible 10-year journey, this 10-year, and going down in history, hopefully, or one can only hope, for having been one of the greatest of all time. I want to say thank you from my heart to yours for having made me the greatest of all time and being the voice of Descendants and Zombies. This wouldn't have happened if not for each and every one of you and your contributions to this YouTube channel. Thank you so much. A dream is a wish that only your heart can make. Trust in your heart. because he or she is your best friend, and it will always lead you into the light out of darkness, because trust me, as Cloud has always said in Final Fantasy fame, you will find your light. You just have to trust in that light. It's just a matter of how long it will take you to find it, how you'll find it, and how long it will take you to find it. But trust me, you will find that light. Having said that, there is never enough kindness in this world, and the words I love you are never said or heard enough. So make it happen for somebody and spread your own message of kindness. We will talk again tomorrow morning. Until then, stay safe, everybody. Let the light of the moon be your guide. And never, ever forget that I will forever and always be here for you. And I love you guys so much, man. Be kind to one another. Bye, YouTube. We will do this again tomorrow morning. So long for now.